Howdy, Ken. How are you doing today? Are you ready for episode 48 of the Affiliate Files?
Episode 48. This is crazy. Did you ever think we'd get this far?
No, I didn't.
Audience, do you think we'd ever get this far?
Right?
Thanks for
Audience,
sticking with
yeah,
us.
thanks for sticking it out with us and coming this far with us. The journey means nothing without you.
Absolutely.
So, this episode, Ken, is going to be right in your wheelhouse because failure is feedback for you, good sir. So, let's talk about our latest launch.
Yeah, our first launch, by the way.
First launch.
Our first launch. And I'm couldn't be happier. I really, I mean, obviously, we didn't get any sales, but we did, to me, do what we wanted to do, which was bring something to the market that is sorely needed. Even though the feedback that we got was resistance. And we talked about that in backstage, and we went really deep. That backstage is gonna go down in history. Oh, I'm sure we'll have better ones. Well, like there's like really, really good, but that one was really good. Just because of the level of transparency that we shared with our members. But yeah, I'm really, I couldn't be happier with the results, and I think most people would be like, well, you didn't sell anything, and that just means, it was a, it wasn't a good product, blah blah. You know what? We're taking all feedback, both positive and negative, but we're looking at it we're taking a step back. Like we're having an outer body experience, going back and going, look, okay, so what happened? What can we do better? And that's what we talk about. We talk about feedback, and that we're not afraid to try these things out, because we knew going forward from the very get-go that we felt that there's going to be a little bit of resistance here in certain areas. And true to form, we were right on that. So that was great. That was a positive. But at the same time, I think whenever you're trying to do something new, when you're trying to introduce something new to a market, there's always going to be that uncertainty because people have always done things the same way.
So that's the issue. Is you look at all the different variables that we decided, and we said we're going to go with a certain price point because we believe that we want this to set a baseline.
Yep.
A baseline for the fact that the Affiliate Files, the truth about making money online, is always free. The podcast, the content that we put out. But if we're going to sort of set aside and devote our time to really trying to help people, we want people to buy in, both literally and figuratively.
Yep.
Figuratively, in the sense that we want them to make a commitment, a commitment to us that they're going to show up. And we said at this price point, we think people will commit. Of course, we also talked about, and we talk about here on the channel, is, I mean, one of the biggest things that you do as an affiliate is to get a commitment for people to actually, take action.
Yeah.
But with this offer for what it was, a workshop, and we even broke down that in backstage. Like, what does a workshop mean? It means that people are going to have to show up and go to work and do work, right? Yeah. So, I mean, it's a hard angle to sell in the first place, because I think if we would have just made a course, and you covered this as well in backstage, the fact that a course can just be purchased and then, you always have it in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Whereas this was a live workshop, so you had to commit showing up to the live.
Yeah.
You had to commit to having a set of questions, or you had to really set and think, what really are my questions about building a list?
Yeah.
So you had to look and do some research of your own to say, what is it I don't know that I need to know? And that takes effort right there before you even hit the claim your spot button on the sales page, right?
Yeah. And I think that's part of it, though. I mean, when we analyzed and broke down, our audiences and the audiences of our affiliates, and part of it, that too is whether or not people are ready to hear, or ready to learn, and ready to take that action, take that first step. Because we talk about it all the time. Everyone talks about it. Take action, do something, do it. But the percentage of people who actually go and take action is very, very minuscule. And based off of how many people we're promoting, and how many visitors we got and clicks we got, I was thinking we would get just a handful of people who were ready to take that step. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But again, we want to create that standard, and we're on the same page on this one. I want to create the standard where we're going to give you something of value. We're not going to just peddle a cheap and cheerful product to you, hoping that after a month or two you're going to forget about it, and we're going to peddle another one a month or two later. We're going to provide you with true value. That's where I was coming from, a place of true value, of how many times have you gone out and purchased a product that someone told you to buy, and you ended up buying it because they said, yeah, this is great, go ahead and buy it. You bought it and you never used it. That is the big question. That's the big challenge that I think a lot of people, I faced it. I still face it sometimes. I buy products and I don't use them. But for the most part, I don't buy a whole lot of things anymore because I know what I need to do in order to build my business. And building an email list, and not just any old email list, because I can go out and buy an email list right now if I wanted to. But building that list, a responsive list where it doesn't have to be big, it can be small, and you can make money from that list. That was the goal. And I know that there are a lot of people out there who don't want to face that truth, that they're going to come to that truth once they find that cheap and cheerful product that's going to get them to that one level where now I got to worry about what I'm going to do with that list.
So that was one of the things in the workshop, and we did this in the live. We went live here on the Affiliate Files on the YouTube channel. So if you're listening on the podcast and you don't watch it on the YouTube channel, you missed out, right? You need to subscribe and ring the notification bell and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Because, one of the components of our list here for the Affiliate Files is our YouTube channel. And then, of course, you guys that are listening on the podcast. The simple fact of the matter is building that list. We're currently still building out the Affiliate Files list and the truth about making money online. And we know that you guys show up to hear the truth. So the thing about promoting the product itself, especially when we were doing it to our email list, and we talked about all this backstage, and we even broke down the numbers and showed the numbers of visitors, our visitors versus the affiliates that we had. And simply the matter of the fact that some of the bigger heavy hitters that we reached out to simply explained to us why they couldn't or wouldn't promote. And we covered that backstage as well. But this is all the process of the Affiliate Files, being an affiliate, recruiting affiliates. And just the simple truth about making money online is things don't always go the way you want them to go. And there's this component of giving people things that they want versus giving people things that they need. Putting that into a nice marketing message. You can hear things like chocolate covered broccoli, or, disguising things, right? And making it appear to be something else, and then flipping it and making a completely different product. Whereas we went straight up transparent, and we said, look, when you read the sales page, and, you folks read the sales page was, we're going to let you ask questions about list building and how to build a responsive list, and how to really think about what a list is, and the fact that a list is an audience, and the fact that you will need to ask questions up front. And then there's going to be a small presentation, and then we're going to give you 4 hours of our time to make sure that your questions get answered. Yeah. That's the whole point. And then we were transparent about the fact that there's no replay because we want you to commit to showing up. And that message just didn't resonate with the current list that we have, specifically when we're talking about our email list and our bigger list than, the family we built here, the audience that we built here in the Affiliate Files. And the fact that you guys are a little different than that audience over at 30-Minute Marketing and at Ken Furukawa Marketing.
Yeah. But I have no regrets doing it, because at the same time, we want to set a standard that right now I don't see where we kind of, hang our hats in that space. And so, and maybe it's because, you and I have worked in that corporate world, or, where, and we had this discussion about, I've paid for workshops and things, and, I paid a lot more. I had to travel for that and cover all my expenses to learn something. over like a 2-day period. And this was, you're going to be in the comfort of your own home. Yeah, you're going to be on Zoom, but you know, for me, it was where else can you actually talk to two marketers who are doing exactly what you want to do? Where else can you get that? Because I can't find anywhere else where I can literally, get that person on there. And yeah, maybe I air some grievances or two if I wanted to, but there is no other area or no other place that I can see that happening. And eventually, when people get too big, they don't want to deal with, the people that got them there. We're the type of people that we want to be able to hear back, because without you guys telling us, or giving us feedback and giving us the concerns that you have, we're not able to really address them. And we just don't want to just put out stuff just because, oh, we want to launch something. We had true intention of providing value and of helping people, because if you break down how much per hour we would charge for anybody to have, let's say, an hour with us, it literally was a drop in a bucket to show up and get your questions answered. And we had this side conversation before we even launched. We're like, oh, well, if we can get a handful of people, that'd be great. And we were like, man, those handful of people that show up, they would get so much value because they would have us for up to 4 hours. So you could literally go, hey, let me share my screen and show you. I mean, we would literally be looking at and walking you through it. And you can't get that with any other, coach or guru out there. They're going to charge you thousands of dollars. So to me, it was true value. But, at the time, maybe, when we look at it now, we can say like our audience just wasn't ready for it. The market wasn't ready for something. To me, it's not rocket science or transformative, but I guess in this space, the people that we deal with, it is.
And a lot of it too is if you look at the marketing, as an affiliate, I know as an affiliate, I've done this with my list. Sometimes I find a really good product and I know it's going to be really helpful to them. And I just position it. I don't position it correctly, and they don't see the value that I see in it. And I don't really get that message across, So I look at our sales page and I understand that maybe that message didn't get 100% across, but I think it more had to do with the fact that it was a live workshop. People had to commit. And then of course, talking to, our affiliates, the people that promoted our launch, a lot of them said it was about, the prices and the arrangement of the prices and sort of making the funnel, deeper, more lucrative, if you will. And this is all part of understanding and learning what it is to be an affiliate, what it is to be a vendor. And us, me and Ken together here at the Affiliate Files, when we decided to take TAF, of course, TAF being the Affiliate Files, I even had people ask, so what does TAF mean? I was like, the Affiliate Files. It's like, they're like, there were a lot of disconnects because the brand isn't where it needs to be for that type of launch. But without trying, right? Without that first attempt, like we talked about backstage, we sort of compared this to the old sort of space program, you know what I mean? And the fact that failure to launch meant different things depending on the feedback they got back from the first missiles that were sitting there and just blew up on the platform versus the ones that took off and then, flew a few hundred feet and then just sort of blew up or whatever, right? Whatever happened each time they launched a missile or a rocket, they learned something new. You know what I mean? And, that means that they had to try these different combinations. They had to put these things together. And we went in knowing what we know about the market that we're in and the affiliates that we were going to attract and the type of products that they typically promote to the audiences they have, to include our audiences over at Ken Furukawa and 30-Minute Marketing, because we sell products all the time, but they're at a different price point. They're, the same sort of, like Ken was talking about. This wasn't revolutionary. It wasn't, something that's never ever been heard of before. It's just a live workshop, but typically these aren't presented to the audience that we currently have. They're looking at the same vanilla thing that they're comfortable with buying, a certain price point, the fact that it's, a PDF or it's a recorded set of videos that they'll get access to and they'll be able to access in their own leisure. They don't have to think before they open the product and they don't have to show up to get the product. You know what I mean? It's like all these different variables that we looked at and we're saying, you know, we could have made this offer vanilla. We could have made this offer a lower price point. We could have made this a standard training, but that's not what we wanted to do. You know, we wanted to sort of push the envelope and again go back to what we really wanted to do. And this is the truth, is we wanted to set the standard from the very first product.
Yeah. And I just think that, you know, making that kind of a commitment and stepping outside of your comfort zone, I think that was another thing that we had talked about, is that, you know, you out there who are interested in starting an affiliate marketing business, no matter what you do, you're going to step outside of your comfort zone. There's nothing that's ever going to come easy. That is the plain old truth, that you're going to have to at times step outside of your comfort zone. However, you know, why not do it with two people who actually care about what you're doing and how you're doing it, and are willing to help you over that period of a weekend to, you know, answer your questions and kind of get you straight. I just think that people, you know, again, we talk about the buy and stash mentality, right? I mean, we're all guilty of it. And I used to buy, like, I'm going to buy this because I know 2 years from now, I'm going to need it. I'm going to dust it off. I want to use it. It's going to help me get there. But, you know, what we're teaching is the basic fundamentals, blocking and tackling, which is what a lot of people actually need. They need the blocking and tackling. They don't need the shiny helmet or the latest, you know, pads and the coolest cleats out there. They just need to know the fundamentals of blocking and tackling. And I think that's what we try to establish there, because, you know, in a sea of $17 products, or call it what you will, cheap and cheerful, you know, I think there's a place for, you know, people like us who want to just give value, you know, and unfortunately, I guess we didn't convey that value enough to convince people that, you know, it was worth their time to learn how to build a list, which is something so vital to, you know, having a long-term sustainable business.
Yeah. And there's a lot to be said, go back to, you know, presenting the offer. So, you know, as a vendor versus being an affiliate, typically as an affiliate, when you promote that vendor's product, they've gone to, you know, crazy lengths to sort of hammer home that message. And we discussed this and we put this together over the course of, you know, a month. And we said, we worked out what we wanted it to be. And we wanted the focus to be on the fact that it's a live workshop, you know, building a list. And we wanted to be generic in the fact that it was a list, building a list. And we wanted you to show up with your list building questions. So again, could we do better as vendors here at the Affiliate Files, targeting exactly what we want to give you because we know you need it, but also positioning it in the fact of this is what you want? You know, there's a fine line there, I think. And it's just the truth about making money online is, as a vendor, you got to give your affiliates what they want, what they need. You know what I mean? Contest money, a deep funnel, something that really is attractive to their audience. So we have to work harder to align our message that we want to get out to the people that we know need it.
Yeah.
And we also have to align that message to our JVs and their, you know, those people, and the fact that they have a certain audience, and we have to give them what they need, you know? So the fact that we had a failure to launch, we actually launched it. So that wasn't the failure. The failure to launch was that we just didn't get it spot on as far as what our message was out to everyone that we know needs it.
Yeah.
You know, so we're taking all that feedback, and that's really the point of this episode. It's to let you know that the offers aren't going to stop.
Yep.
You know, we give you the free content here on the podcast, and of course, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, because we want you to know the truth. The truth is that this doesn't happen overnight. The truth is that, you know, you can simply become an affiliate by going out and finding offers that you know work, you know convert. And then you can build your audience around that concept, around the fact that this is their problem, this is a solution. And you just sort of build that list and you push people towards that offer. But there's so many different levels to this game, so many different levels to this business, and understanding that inside of the business, there is a game. There is this game of, you know, creating offers and mirroring them up and making them attractive to the affiliates, making them attractive to the audience of those affiliates, making it attractive to the audience that you've built, that you're building, so many different levels. And if you don't try, if you don't attempt, if you don't ever attempt to make that offer, if you have a horse for sale and you never put out a sign that says horse for sale, nobody's ever going to know.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up, because we were talking about this before we even filmed Backstage. and I talked about congruency, just having congruency from across different channels. And it's a balancing act. When you're an affiliate, it's easy to go out there and find products that will resonate with your audience. To me, it is, at least. But when you're a vendor and trying to balance all of those needs and wants and desires and everything, and trying to make everyone happy, that's the learning experience for me, because this was the first product I've ever launched. And Professor, I know you launched different types of products in a different niche altogether. So for you, looking at it from that perspective, I think our listeners and our viewers would appreciate just understanding, you know what I mean? Like, the experience that you have in your other niche is different than the experience that you had in this niche.
Yeah. Again, it goes back to understanding it better, and have worked very closely with the affiliates and saw their success and modeling their success.
Yeah.
Because in the best niche that I'm in, do the best in, as far as like just generating sales and knowing, it's a very cookie cutter approach, right? Because the product is always the same, and it's a very hot market. It's a starving crowd. And they basically, it's a proven model.
Yeah.
Just like we know that, the audience that we have on Ken Furukawa 30-minute marketing, we can go over to, and we launched this on Warrior Plus, right? And we utilize Warrior Plus affiliates. We know what the model looks like.
Yeah.
We could have cookie cuttered it and started off with the $7 front end, and then worked our way all the way through it. But the problem is we would have had to create these little courses, micro course, and we would have gave you a video, and then we would have upsold you to this, and we would have upsold you to that. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to start off from the very start, from the jump. This is what you have to be committed to. You have to buy in and be committed to us, because we're being committed to you to show up live. We're offering our time live to show up and answer your questions. We're letting you submit any and all questions, and we're going to do our best to answer them over this period of time that we're giving to you for this one-time price, this very, very simple funnel. And the only thing you have to do is commit and buy. And, the message just fell flat for whatever reason. Price point, time, commitment, lack of interest.
You know what would have done it, though? I got 2 words for you. Launch party.
Launch party brings us back to last week's episode, or episode 47. We talked about Presentar. But you know what? The truth about making money online is not everything, even with a rock star launch party, does what they think it's going to do. Because that Presentar, just to bring this into perspective of our launch, that Presentar launch did almost $1 million.
Yeah.
But they thought it was going to do $2 million.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just the level, the hype factor was it was up there. I've never seen anything like it.
So the truth about making money online as an affiliate, and there were some case studies that people did, and there were other people that were affiliates. They were highly disappointed as affiliates because it didn't do so well. And then they're going back and they're looking, and then, you get a chance as an affiliate a lot of times to play armchair quarterback and be like, "Oh, this is the way I'd have done it. I'd have had a completely different angle."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, but at the end of the day, those people that did Presentar went in the hole. One thing that we didn't do with this is we didn't go in the hole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This was all 100% internal.
Yeah.
And the simple fact was, we did the copy, we did the sales page, we came up with the angle, and we committed to the fact that we're okay with a handful of people showing up. Yeah. If they do, they're going to get immense value.
Yeah.
So we said, we're just going to do this. We're going to put the information on the sales page. It presents it for what it is.
Yeah.
We're not going to overhype it. It's a simple fact of, We do this. We build lists. We make money from those lists. We can answer your questions and we can get you to where you want to be quicker by answering your questions, the real questions that you have to build a responsive list. Got questions, get answers. I mean, it was really a simplified approach. And again, we always want to hear your feedback. So obviously, if you didn't already, let us know, which a lot of you did already, and we appreciate that. But if you didn't, reach out to us and let us know what you thought, so we can make the next one better for you.
Yeah, because this is the first of many. I feel that there's so many things that we can share and provide value to you guys that I know that we're going to come up with others, and who knows, eventually we'll come out with list building workshop 2.0. That will come out next year to a different audience completely. Because again, I think what we were offering was an opportunity for people to actually get serious, to roll up their sleeves and take this seriously. Because you're building an online business like this, like where we're talking about the truth, you need all the honest information that you can get, the straight answers that you can get from honest marketers. We weren't there to upsell anybody or anything. It was just, here it is, here's the information, here's how we do it, here's your questions, we're going to answer those questions. If you got more questions, we're going to answer those as well, because we want to eliminate all doubt so that you know exactly what you need to do. What you do with it after that is up to you. It's totally up to you. But if you are ready to get started now, this is the way to do it. So I don't know.
Failure to launch, and the disappointment for me is the fact that I was hyped up to do the workshop. I was hyped up for the people that showed up.
I know, I was excited
to really be on the call with them live. Just like we talked about the YouTube live that we did, and then how just jazzed we were to do it, and then we did it, and then we were hyped all day long. Yeah. We just ride that wave into the workshop. And that's really, the disappointment for me is, I just love talking about, marketing and list building and sharing with people that are looking for information. They're looking for answers, looking for the truth. You don't get so much of it. You buy that $7 product, that $17 product. It says it's going to give you everything you need to do, everything you need to know to do, to build a business, to build a list. And then, you open it up and it's basically exactly what you could have found on YouTube. You can go to 30 Minute Marketing, go to Ken Furukawa Marketing, and you can hear us talk for, 7 to 12 minutes on list building. But then you have a question. Where do you get the answer? You can leave it in the comments and we'll do our best to reply to you. But, that's not the same as that live workshop where you go, you guys answered my question, but I had a little more that I needed. I was not really clear on this aspect of it and how it pertains to the list that I'm building, and then we give our feedback to you right then, right there. You know what I mean? And just let you know. Or even the other people that were part of the workshop, maybe there's somebody there that has tried the exact thing that you're doing. And they're like, oh, they're like, oh, because part of the workshop was bringing people together, not just to hear us, but to hear everything that the other people were doing, inside the workshop. Because I know that I paid way more than $97 to join live workshops, especially like in my old career in IT, but even in marketing workshops where I joined for, to learn about YouTube or whatever. And somebody in a completely different niche was like, you know what, this is what I do. And I think this would really work for you too, because it's really kind of similar. And it just opened up this whole world of possibilities for me.
Yeah. And, that to me, the networking part and just meeting other marketers, maybe who are starting off just like you, and just having that ability to connect with others, because we talked about it in the past that this can be a very lonely journey, even though we're on camera and, Gary, the professor and I, we talk all the time. We've never met in person. So it's very odd to me to have that, because when you shut that camera off, it's just you and the computer, and you're grinding it out every day. And I think this would have been a great opportunity for people to kind of come together, get to know one another, get to know other like-minded marketers, so you can reach out. Because once the course ends, doesn't mean that you can't reach out to us and say, "Hey, I got a question." Like, I would answer the question. I mean, I answer questions all the time from people sending me random emails anyway, so it's not anything different. But
Yeah.
it just helps to get a voice of reason, to connect with a voice of reason, to who has your best interest in mind. I'm here just to help people. That's my main goal, and that's what I enjoy doing. And I was hoping that we would have that opportunity, and also connect other people together, so that you may form a bond that, like the professor and I have right now, that could last for decades.
Yeah. And this is part of the message that maybe we didn't deliver.
Yeah.
Going back and looking at it and getting that feedback and the perspective of doing this podcast, doing the backstage, having these conversations, so definitely provide your feedback for us. We would really, really appreciate it. And again, the affiliate files, it's the truth about making money online. It's not just, the truth that you're not making money. It's the truth that sometimes we don't make money.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And with that, I'm Gary. He's Ken. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.